particularly in this country. I worked for a Swedish company, and I got and I have friends in Europe. I've gotten to travel to all sorts of European countries. They do things so differently over there when it comes to pharmaceuticals. And I even have this whole idea that because we're so reliant on them in this country, that even the other countries get to pay less for it because we pay so much for it here. It's just there's so many things that we could be doing to address symptoms and address cause, or not just address symptoms, address the cause relation to it. And I would love to see more conversations like this with doctors, as opposed to, let me prescribe you a pill that's going to help, alleviate a symptom.
Right. And it's okay, this is your symptom. But if we figure out the why behind your symptom, we can backtrack and create a plan instead of a Band-Aid that may or may not help and probably is going to have another side effect, creating something else, like liver, bladder, kidneys, everything you're taking, those organs have to process.
Yeah, that's true.
So if we are, the average 60-year-old is on like 13 different pharmaceuticals. So at that point, it's like, what are you doing to your liver, your kidneys, your bladder? If those are necessary for life saving and sustaining, I'm all in.
Yeah.
But if we can do it another way, doesn't it make sense? And this is exactly what we're doing with looking at this, finding out the why, your unique why.
Yeah.
Not the guy that was before you and the guy that's after you in the doctor's office. Here, take this. And
or the people that were in the studies who are, random. And
exactly. And Europe does a much better job at looking at the purity of even their supplements. There's anybody could go and say, here's my supplement.
Yeah.
Right. But, is it a pharmaceutical grade? Not meaning that it has pharmaceuticals in it, but does it go through the same strict regimen to be created?
Yeah.
Right. And then what's the dosing of it? You could say it's a vitamin C. It could be 1% vitamin C, 99% filler. The toxins in the filler is worse than the 1% because they're selling it to you for such a cheap, here, buy 10 of them.
Yep. And you find things like rice flour in them, that's a filler, but people don't, this is the other thing, like the supplement industry is so unregulated. You really got to do a lot of research to find out if it's a good one or not. It's not an easy thing.
Absolutely.
I remember I had a company that reached out to me over the summer, I think it was, and they were interested in helping me start a supplement company on supplements that support mental health. And in theory, I like that, but there's not a lot of research to back this kind of stuff is so different, but there's not a lot of general research to say, this type of supplement helps with this. And to me, it's again, I supplement a lot, but I do a lot of research, or sometimes I have a person who's in charge of the supplement company, founder, on this show, and I'll ask them questions about their process and stuff like that, and find out if it's something that'll work for me. So I love that element of it, where you have to understand the quality is important, and not ingesting stuff full of fillers and other things that you really don't need and actually could be further hindering your issues.
Absolutely. Yep. That's just as important as everything else.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that we do after we have someone's results. Okay, what's the dosing even of what they need? It's not just the next guy, but, what are we looking at as we look at all these layers of what's happening with you, uniquely you? What's the dosing we need to recommend, right? So it's all part of it. Okay, then the IDO1. We had a heterozygous result. So this is an enzyme that plays a role in a lot of pathophysiological processes, such as neuropathology and immunoregulation. So just talking about the nervous system, the immune system, the endocrine system, how they all tie in together. So really important.
So what I'm missing one of them there, right? So
right. So one of them is a variant. So it's It's the wrong plug and play of what should be there.
Okay.
So then IL-2 or interleukin-2. And this is a heterozygous result. This is going to create a robust inflammatory response. It could create severe allergies. It could even create bowel inflammation.
Oh, okay.
So that's important for a lot of people. Like early on, you're like, I don't know if this is TMI, but talking about a bowel movement
Yeah.
is such an important part of looking at and understanding what the health of an individual is. Because if you're not removing toxins from your body, and that's what's in a bowel movement, it's the nutrients have been used up. Now we're getting rid of everything else that your body doesn't need. We have to get rid of that.
Yeah. And
That's why.
there's the thing with like my stomach is the first thing that gets upset with anything.
Yeah.
Without if from stress to anxiety to even like I have stomach issues when I get a cold. Like it's the first thing that kind of tells me something isn't right.
Yeah.
And I think I can tell from that, like on a daily basis, what's going on. So I think I know people who like they don't have like regular bowel movements and stuff like that. Is that related to this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then we get into the neuropsych genes and the amount of anxiety somebody has. Can be so many other layers to it. We're going to talk about autophagy, kind of like the garbage man of the cells. Are we having problems there removing garbage? So it's not just one thing. And that's kind of where we started with like a company that's coming out with, here, look at this. It's like, no. That's actually dangerous information. It's misleading.
Yeah. The misleading piece. That's what I think so many of us just get misled because you use the vitamin D example. I have low vitamin D. Well, supplement it. Okay. Well, am I doing the right amount? Like, what are the impacts? Is it actually helping? It's all like in a silo. It's useless. It's just useless information.
Exactly. It's useless information. Yep. And I think with people educating themselves more and requiring more information and better information and not standing for the old answer, it's really helped in a lot of those ways.
I think so too. And I think that's one of the good things the last few years, I think that's come out of the internet is people waking up to this health stuff, both mental, physical, and the intersections of them, where this information just wasn't available before social media.
No way. And even just having, medical publications that the average person wouldn't be able to read that, but it's available. You couldn't even have access to that if you weren't a physician.
That's crazy.
That's
I didn't
crazy,
even think of that.
Right? You still want the physician because they're the guiding, factor in all this, but you want to know it's your body. What's going on with me? What do I need to really brush up on? What do I need to know? And then be able to ask the educated questions as a result of that.
Exactly. And then you're not just trusting blindly. You're actually, the point of this show, don't go through life blind, go through the world with your eyes wide open.
Exactly.
So you can have an intelligent conversation and ask the right questions.
Right. Which, by the way, is a great name and a great premise of, if we all really took the name of your show and said, wow, how much of my life do I go through with blinders on and accept it? But then I get upset if the result isn't what I want it to be. Right? So eyes wide open.
Thank you for listening to this clip from the full episode of Eyes Wide Open. Please like and subscribe for daily clips and new episodes that drop every Tuesday. I appreciate you.